Good evening, everyone. Today, the topic we are going to discuss is the definition and the function of language as per Jacobson. So, this is one of the most important talking topic, and which you will see this will be asked in your AMA in the detailed format, as well as this will be also asked in your competitive exams. Friends, you have also seen the exams of UGC NET and other competitive exams related to the particular subjects like English literature. Here the portion of linguistics is increasing day by day. So whosoever is in their masters or whosoever is there in graduation, or if you are preparing for your competitive exams like UGC NET, you must focus right now on the linguistics portion. Now you cannot skip these portions, and these portions are not that difficult to understand. If you will focus on the minute things, if you will understand it, you will be able to answer these things in your exams. So without wasting times, let's focus on the topic: definition and the function of language as per Jacobson's. So what does Jacobson says? Jacobson says that language is the system of arbitrary vocal sound symbols. Means they are the vocal symbols, whatever the sounds you produce through your mouth, through your vocal cord, those symbols, those sounds will combine, those certain sounds will be selected out, and then those sounds will be forming the language. So he says that system of arbitrary vocal sounds used for human communication. And as per Henry Sweet, he says that language is used for the used for expressing the idea of humans. And how this happens, we have, friends, speech sounds. We have, means some selected speech sounds we have. These speech sounds will combine to form words, and then these words will combine to form sentences, and then with the help of sentences we used to express our ideas, we communicate, and we do several other stuff. So this is said by Henry Sweet. Henry Sweet says that language is the expression of ideas by means of speech sounds combined into words. Communication into sentence helps in the coordination and conveying the things. So this is the definition given by Henry Sweets. He also says that language can be understood in relation to the society. How this is said? Because language is used by humans to communicate, to express themselves, and where this happens in the society. Hence language is understood in the context of society, or in the context of growth of society. Hence language study or language in relation to society is called social linguistics. Friends, this has been asked many times in your UGC net also, so you must remember what is social linguistics. Social linguistics means study of language in relation with society, how it is used, how it is evolved in context of society from the ancient times to today. So this you have to remember, that the concept of social linguistics, what it is. According to Jacobson's, he says that the primary function or the primary capacity of a language is to communicate. The primary capacity or the power of a language is to facilitate human communication and the transmission of information from one place to another. So what is the main function of the language? We also have the basic understanding of this, that language, what we primarily use the language for the communication, for expressing ourselves, for sharing our opinions. So this is the main stuff for which language is used. Now this linguist Jacobson gives some most important functions of language, and these are counted as 6. So he gives 6 functions of the language, you can see here, and these 6 functions are directly asked in your exams, whether it is masters or in UGC NET and many other competitive exams. So you must remember these things. This first, referential and emotive function, I will be explaining this in detail. First you must remember the name: emotive or referential function, emotive or expressive function, connotative or directive function, then emphatic function is there, then poetic and static function is there, then metalingual function is there. Now without wasting times, let's move directly into the detailing of these 6 important functions of the language listed by Jacobson. So friends, first is the referential or the information functions. By the name itself, what does it mean? Referential or the information function. This is the most important function. It is majorly used to deliver the message that provide new information to the receiver. Suppose a speaker is speaking something, so whatever he will be speaking, that is going to deliver something new to us, that is going to deliver something new to the listener who is listening or who is engaged in that conversation. For example, if a speaker says my daughter has passed the doctoral entrance test, what does it mean? He's giving the information, he's giving the new information about his daughter, he's giving the information. This information can be facts, or this observation, this information can also be based on truth also. So for example, other example is given statement, all females have a black hair. So this is giving the new information. So this is the most important function of the language, referential or the informational function. So what does referential or informational function does? This is the function of a language through which a listener gets new information, he gets to know about the facts and the truth. Then second is emotive or expressive functions. So by the name itself you can see the emotive or expressive functions. In this you got to know about the emotion or the expression of speaker. It tells us about the speaker's feelings, emotions and ideas. It is also called expressive functions. So the words of exclamation, the words of feeling, the words of actions, these are the emotive or expressive functions of the language. For example, I am tired, I am great today. What does these statements or these sentences tells us about the speaker? I am very tired. This says the state of mind, state of physical health of a speaker. So these functions like emotive or expressive functions, they tells us about the state of mind of the speaker who is speaking these things. Now we have known the emotive or expressive functions. So I hope this is clear to you. Emotive and expressive functions tells us about the feeling, emotions and ideas which are expressed by the speaker through the language. So this is emotive or expressive function. Now coming to the connotative or directive functions, here you can also comprehend by the name itself. Connotative means something hidden will be there, something directive will be there. It concerns with the direction on the instructions to the listener. Whoever the listener is, if the speaker is speaking, then that is going to direct him. There will be something hidden agenda in that sentence. For example, you can see here the statements of persuasion, request, these are the commands or the orders. These are the statements which will have the connotative or the directive function, directive meanings. If the speaker is speaking some sentences and some words, then those sentences and the words which have some hidden meaning, or there will be some direction to the listener who is listening to it, then that is the connotative or the directive function of the language. You can better understand this by the examples. For example, you can say, here you can see that Tom, come inside and eat. Here what does it mean? Here this sentence means that it has been directed to the listener to come inside and eat. So this is not merely a sentence, it is a kind of order. When a listener will listen to it, he had to act. And this is also used in some kind of communication, like if there is request, command and order, you must, the speaker uses this function of the language. For example, I am hungry. What does this mean? It means you are requesting something for a food. You does not merely, if you say someone I am hungry, what does it mean? You are asking, either you are asking him to food or you are asking him to arrange something to eat. So this is the connotative or directive function of the language. Means who is listening to you, he will engage with you in something, you will direct him something. Who will direct? Speaker will direct. So this is the connotative function of the language. Now comes the phatic function of the language. Most important thing in this function of the language is it is majorly, or it in a abundance amount is used to maintain the general conversations in the society. For example, the interaction in the society and to express the empathy. It is generally used in the normal conversation. For example, bye, good morning. These are the words which are the phatic functions of the language. Now comes the fifth, that is poetic or static functions of the language. Friends, here words are considered as the linguistic artifacts. Means these are the things which are used as a decoratory material in the language. How this can be used as a decoratory material in the language? For example, friends, these are used to produce the essence. Means the language, if we are using that language in any of the fields, it will produce a kind of essence, or that can also be used to represent the beauty. For example, if the language is used in the fiction literature, music, drama, poetry, here you if we use the language either is going to represent the creativity, beauty, or it is going to represent some essence. Without the use of language in these fields, we cannot create these things. So this is the poetic function or the static function of the language. For example, these phrases are given: never are your nearest envy. Here you can write it envy. So these are the phrases which have some poetic or static meaning. Now comes to the last function, that is metalingual or reflexive function of the language. So what is metalingual or reflexive? Reflexive from the word itself means something reflective, means the language itself beautifies, means whatever the characteristics, whatever the value, whatever the features of the language is there, that will itself be expressed with the help of language. For example, words like definition, ambiguity, describing, these are the metalingual functions. Denotation is a common word or adjective that provides information about the noun. Means, for example, if there is a word, there is a girl, and if I add beautiful, so this is a language, this is the word, and this word beautiful is glorifying or giving the characteristic to this other word girl. So here it is said in the same way that language itself defines itself, language glorifies itself. So that is the metalingual or reflexive function of the language. So friends, these are the 6 most important functions of the language which you must remember. At least you must remember the names of these things, these 6 functions of the language, and at the same time you must remember who had given this 6 functions of the language. So this is given by Roman Jacobson. Roman Jacobson has given this 6 functions of the language. Friend, most important thing you must remember that Roman Jacobson, 1 minute, Roman Jacobson, you will study this person, this writer, more in critical theory. Here he is majorly studied in formalist theory, so you will study him there. He has also given very much most important concepts and the terms in that formalist theory, which you will study there. So this is the most important things which I have given you about the definition and the function of language. Hope you understood it, and if you find this video helpful, and if you find it somewhere helping you in your preparation, in your journey of preparing for the competitive exams of literature, you can subscribe to my channel and you can like this video also. If you only find helpful, if it does not being helpful to you, and if you did not find any effort in making this video, you can also dislike to this video. And this is all about the definition, the function of language. I will try to make the videos on 10 units. This is the first unit. In this first unit I have told you about the history and the development of English language, and this is the definition, the function of language. Friends, remember this: linguistics weightage is increasing day by day in your UGC net. So remember one thing, you cannot study whole linguistics, but the topics which has been given in your masters and in your graduation, you must prepare these topics, because the questions which are coming in your exams are majorly based on these topics. So once you have paid the full attention, now you don't have to study ahead when you are preparing for your competitive exams. So I'm saying here, if you are in your graduation or in your masters, pay full attention here, study deeply this. Once you have studied it, you don't have to again pay the attention to these same topics. At the time when you are preparing for the exams, you can pay attention to the topics, and this will be an age for you. So this is all about the importance of this topic, and thank you for listening.